Hey guys, MC Mura here, and today we're gonna talk about the next character in the Year 3 boss of Street Fighter 6, and that obviously is Alex. Let's make sure 2026 is a bomb, a power bomb. Now, obviously, we are kind of like midway through this Year 3 boss. Capcom have already released Sagat, they have already released Viper, and I feel like both of them are generally like well received, and people really like them. Alex is up next, and obviously we got Ingrid after that. Now, I'm gonna be honest. When I first heard about this Year 3 boss, Alex was the one character that I was like really? Like that's who you chose? And I know there's a lot of Alex fans, and I'm gonna explain why I thought about it that way, but the more I think about Alex, because there's not that much else going on with the game, let's be honest. We're not gonna talk about checkmates, it's already been talked about to death, and balancing and everything, so I wanted to think about the future. And in many ways, Alex is a character that was never really like that strong in Street Fighter 3 or Street Fighter 5. In both of these games, he was like, Like he was never like that. He never was a character that had like a big impact on the game. So I found his inclusion to be kind of surprising, especially since gameplay wise as well. I do think Alex is very similar to a character that is already existing in Street Fighter 6. Because here's the thing, when they add like a new member to the roster, right? Like Viper, they gave her the drive gauge extensions on some of these moves. They gave her like the super jump. Sagat, he got his level 2 super with a bunch of different follow-ups. He's not like super ultra unique, but I do think that he at least is a fan favorite, right? Elena had the healing, didn't work out that crazy to be important, but it is there. Mai obviously had the level 1 install and the very toxic fan toss and everything. Terry was a level 2 extensions and the lane switch, again, didn't end up being important, but it was something that is new to the game, and Bison had the bombs. You get what I'm trying to say. They usually try to bring in the character with a unique mechanic, with a unique twist, right? And when I really thought about Alex, I was like, what does he bring to the table? But the more I looked into it and the more I really thought about it, I have like a couple of really unique, interesting ideas for Alex that I think could be like a ton of fun, right? They could have some fun with Alex, and hopefully they would be cooking. But hey, if you have never played any of the prior games, what is Alex kind of about, and why am I saying there is a very similar character to him in this game? So I'm gonna show you like his Street Fighter 5 version. The Street Fighter 3 version obviously does have some differences, but for the most part he retained like most of his toolkit. So Alex does have a command grab, but you can't say that Alex is a grappler. Power Bomb, that is his command grab. It's a command grab with not that much range, but the thing about it is that he dashes up, he's negative. In Street Fighter 3, in Street Fighter 5, Alex never really had Oki on command grab. So this is not like a Zangief command grab, this is not like a Armika command grab in this game. He's not really like a grappler, right? That's what I'm trying to say. Alex also have a charge move, elbow, this elbow charge, which obviously goes different distances. He does have this tomb, and this tomb is like an overhead, you have to block it standing. It is mostly safe on block. It used to be unsafe if I remember, but for the most part it is safe. And obviously like there is like the EX version that is plus on block, right? At least that is like the Street Fighter 5 iteration. He also have normals with really good range that aren't special cancelable. So he has this crouching medium punch, goes really far, have pretty good hitbox on it. This move was really good, but he doesn't get that much. A standing medium kick, kind of the same deal. He have a crouching medium kick, also pretty long, uncancelable. He have a lot of good moves that have good range, so he have like this really good presence from this distance, but he isn't really getting like big combos, right? That's what I'm trying to say. He also had this move which is like the flash shop, and this is pretty much like a good poke. So it's like from this range you can use it, does have pretty good range, you can use it as kind of like a poke. And obviously this is one of these moves that you can just use as a combo tool as well, and they mostly leave the opponent standing, where Alex can go for like another one, or whatever, right? Mix in the command grab, chicken trying to walk low, that sort of stuff, right? Anyway, he did have like this anti-air grab. It's pretty much like supposed to be like one of his main anti-air tools, right? It doesn't hit grounded except like the EX version, which does, and one of his best combo enders for getting like a pretty good knockdown. Now, everything I just explained, think about it for a second, right? The toolkit I just explained, does it not remind you of a Street Fighter 6 character? Because when I really thought about it, my first impression was like, wait, that's Street Fighter 6 Honda. And I don't mean butt slam, headbutt Honda. Because I know that when I say Honda, that is the first thing you think about. But when you really think about it, the toolkit is eerily similar. Like Honda also have like really powerful mid-range options, whether we're talking about his standing medium punch, whether we're talking about like his far-range pokes, that step kick, whatever. Honda also have like some really good pokes from this range. Honda's headbutt is safe, can be used as like a tackle move, same as the elbow. This is also like a back charge, by the way. Honda's headbutt, which is like an overhead. This is kind of like the same thing, pretty much almost like the same thing, except he doesn't hit air upon one, it doesn't hit on the way up. But yeah, it's very similar. Honda's hands in Street Fighter 6, they don't knock down, they are easy to combo into, and kind of like the same with the flash drops, right? And here's the thing, when Honda's hands were a mashing motion, he was unique because he used to be Blossom Block, and that was kind of like the identity of Honda. But now, with the fact that they are negative, but still in some frame traps, like you can use them in some spacing traps, in some distances you can use them, or just using them against like combos, sending opponent in like combos so that you can maybe reset into grabs. Yeah. When you really think about it that way, I do think the two characters are pretty similar. So what can Capcom do to bring uniqueness to Alex, right? When I thought about it that way, I was like, he is somewhat similar to Street Fighter 6 Honda. And you can talk about how, but Alex, he came from Street Fighter 3. He has the thing where he have like taunts, and after the taunts, like he get like an upgraded normal that now does like counter hit, whatever. But again, Honda have the Brave for the Sun. So even if we're talking about like the uniqueness of Alex is that he have a buff mechanic, that also happened with Honda as well. See, when you really think about it that way, they're very similar. But here is where I really had to look hard again, because when I really thought about it, like what is the concept of Alex, right? What is the character concept behind him? And it's not that he's a grappler, it's not that he is a traditional brawler. The main unique selling point of Alex is that he's a guy that does a ton of stun. His win condition is that he does a ton of stun. And even any game like Street Fighter 3, I do believe like his Super R2, the stun gun headbutt, this was insta stun people, right? And in Street Fighter 5, he had moves like again this like headbutt, which does massive stun. This does mad stun to the opponent, and obviously, if you happen to get them stunned, that is pretty much like a free combo, right? That's pretty much like a free combo. Like he got this much damage from stun. Obviously in Street Fighter 3 he did have like short combos as well, but also he did massive stun. Here is the thing, Street Fighter 6, they took away the stun mechanic, right? The only way to stun someone is if you happen to get them in burnout, and obviously going for the DI, so that causes stun. And this got me thinking a lot. What can Capcom do to keep Alex's identity intact? To keep him being the guy who is not gonna destroy you with Oki. He doesn't get like Oki from every single knockdown and is like a rush down grappler, but instead a character that plays slow, that will deal good damage, big damage with few openings, and deal massive stun, so that if he got like couple of reads in succession, it's round over. That is his identity. And here's the thing, what if, and entertain this idea, because this is gonna be This is crazy. This is what I'm gonna say is potentially crazy, but it will be so cool. What if Alex was able, oh no, say Alex, say this, he will have special moves that will inflict drive gauge damage on hit. Voila. Could be insanely strong. Could be insanely strong, but to me, this would be very unique to Alex, and it will go a very long way in preserving his identity. Currently, in Street Fighter 6, the only way for you to deal damage to your opponent drive gauge is if you happen to hit them with a punish counter, or if you happen to hit them while with super, right? Supers deal like fixed drive damage as well, right? But what if Alex had some moves, some specials that will be able to inflict drive gauge damage to the opponent on hit? And how can Capcom do that? Well, Alex do have a small unique mechanic to him that wasn't really that prevalent in Street Fighter 5, but was really cool in Street Fighter 3. So what is this mechanic that I'm talking about? And obviously, if you play Street Fighter 3 at all, you would know about Alex back turn mechanic. So Alex have some special moves and some command normals that will act differently depending on if the opponent have his face turned towards Alex or the other way. And Alex had special moves that will force the opponent to look the other way. So for example, this is his back heavy punch, right? And this is it, but take a look at how much stun this move is doing, right? Told you Alex was like the stun guy, right? So typically this move would be like this headbutt, right? But if I forced Chun-Li to look the other way, it was like a heavy flash chop. See, her back is turned to Alex. And if I do that back heavy punch again, it becomes a shock instead, right? It turned into a completely different move. And even if she's stunned like that and I hit her from behind, it's gonna do that as well. Another move is Power Bomb, right? This is like a command grab that typically just does like this animation. But if she is back turned, it turned into this like back suplex that actually have much better Oki for Alex. In a game like Street Fighter 3, this gave him usually like better Oki situations. In Street Fighter 5, the back turn mechanic wasn't really something that was important at all, to be honest. But what if we made it so that Alex's what if we made it so that Alex back turn moves will be the ones to inflict drive damage? Because here's the thing, in a game like Street Fighter 6, it is probably unlikely that Capcom will give you like a command grab that leads to Oki, right? This command grab leaving Alex right on top of you, that's probably not gonna happen. But what if instead of dealing damage for this one, it also dealt drive damage? What if this normal, the headbutt, instead of just it being that way, it will also deal drive damage? I know it could sound, or it sounds like it could be absolutely ridiculous, but I do think that would be really, really cool, and it would be like really unique to Alex, because again, this is kind of his thing. He's a guy, just doing like close medium kick into OD shops, that does massive damage with this guy. Take a look at how much stun that did, right? He is about that stun life, he is about getting the stun, and once he gets the stun, he does get like that big damage. I think that would be a really, really cool way of making Alex like really unique in this game. I don't expect his moveset to get like drastic changes. Dude, they could go crazy with Alex, like, because he's a wrestler. Maybe what if Alex like becomes a heel and now he have like low blows and dirty moves and this. Oh my god, there is so much that you could do. The potential is endless if Capcom really is willing to invest. But I do think for the most part he's gonna retain his toolkit, and I do want to see Capcom leverage the unique elements of this character that could be like really, really fun. Anyways, what are your thoughts on Alex? What are your expectations? Do you think Alex is gonna return and be just this character, kind of like Ryu and Zangief, that have normals that does massive drive damage on block, and that's gonna be it? Or will Capcom actually take a chance with him, give him like a unique mechanic, kind of like I mentioned? I would love to hear your thoughts all about it in the comment section below. I will be leaving a link to the Patreon, Discord, Twitter, and Twitch pages in the description. Thank you so much for watching and stay safe.